Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into two quick little articles real fast, dealing with the times at hand, for us that's in this here truth, we know that things aren't going to go back to normal. All right. You have a lot of these people right now that are pretty much in a sour spirit right now because of these holidays that are coming up. They're not going to be, you're not going to have your normal traditional situations. All right. If you hadn't noticed, all the other holidays were all, pretty much canceled. Like Halloween just passed for the most places. They were telling people to stay at home, not to trick or treat or whatnot. Kids hadn't been going to school like normal. A lot of people are working from home. And they're still in the spirit of, are we going to bounce back to normal, Now, you have to put yourself in the mind of a business owner. If you have whatever business that you have, right, and you got to pay, you got to think of it from their perspective. You got to pay for the overhead of your establishment. You got to pay for the rent there, got to pay for your lights there, you got to pay for the water there, and so on and so forth, But nevertheless, as these companies were forced to so-called shut down, and they could basically open back up if they had their employees work from home, all right, these business owners realized, whether it was COVID or no COVID, at the end all be all of these situations, that, hey man, look at our bottom line. We've made more money than ever before because we don't have to pay out these here overhead fees, more or less to say. Just imagine Walmart. Walmart makes a lot of money. Now, back in the days, you used to have before you had the self-checkout lines, you had people would pretty much each register. They put in the self-checkout lines, and then they got rid of a lot of the cashiers and things like that, all right? Now, just imagine if Walmart was online only. You just order from online, and they just brought it to your house, all right? They could close down every single Walmart store that they have or turn them into distribution hubs, but they wouldn't have to normally pay for all the electricity, the water, and so on and so forth for all these different buildings, So they're basically, their profit margin would skyrocket, man, all right? So from a business perspective, all right, if you could take the COVID out of the whole situation or whatnot, and they're like, all right, you can go back to work now, whatnot. As a business owner, you'd be like, wait a minute, we was just making all this here money. Why would I want to go ahead and pay these people and for rent and so on and so forth when we can still get the job done? People are working from home, and we can just ship stuff out, But nevertheless, things aren't going to go back to normal. All right, we're at the end of the year. We only got 2 more holidays left, Thanksgiving and Christmas. All right. So I'm going to read a little bit of this here article. It says, European leaders issue a bleak reminder that Christmas 2020 won't be a normal one, despite COVID-19 vaccine euphoria. I remember a couple years ago, I think it was the Queen of England, somebody said that, enjoy your Christmas, this is going to be your last Christmas. But granted, this was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, all right? But nevertheless, this says, Ireland Prime Minister have told people to hold off booking their flights home for Christmas, while Germany Health Minister warned that COVID-19 restrictions will likely continue through the festive period. German Minister of Health Jens Spahn told local radio on Thursday that although the rate of infection is slowing across Germany, thanks to the ongoing soft lockdown, it will be unrealistic to assume things will go back to normal by December and January. All right. But, let me read this next one as well, too. It says, Spahn, who himself tested positive for COVID-19 at the end of October, said, I don't see events with more than 10 to 15 people happening this winter. All right. Now, this is over in Europe, right? Now, let's go up to this here story right here. All right. And that was dealing with Christmas. It says, Stop having guests and cancel Thanksgiving plans. COVID mayor introduced new COVID-19 stay-at-home advisory. See, this is stateside, right? So it says, and this sign says, slow the spread of COVID-19, stay at home if you can. All right. And again, you got to think about the things that's going on behind the scenes, where, again, if you think about it, because America's a big consumer nation thing, it's a big corporation. Oh, they're always about the bottom line, the bottom line, the bottom line. If you hadn't realized that, the majority of all businesses and everything that's advertised here in America is a scam. They tell you, oh, buy this car is so great, blah, 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 blah. These cars nowadays, they break down so much more faster than the cars from the olden days back in the days. These companies realize, well, if we make a car that's going to last forever, people aren't going to buy a new car. All right. So they design things to have you keep coming back, so on and so forth. You have to understand this is more or less like a big company corporation. You hear all the commercials, buy extended car warranty, buy health insurance, buy this and buy extra that. When you try to collect on these things, it's always an issue. So they're just collecting your money and not really paying you out anything, It says Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has announced stricter lockdown restrictions, telling residents to only telling residents to only leave their homes for essential trips and to cancel traditional Thanksgiving plans. All right. The stay-at-home advisory, which is similar to lockdown restrictions in major cities that occurred towards the beginning of the pandemic, will take effect on Monday, November 16th at 6 a.m. All right. And so what you have to understand is, we're about to go back into, that so-called second lockdown and things like that. Now that the elections are over, they wanted people to go out to go vote for that, but then have another uptick in these cases so that they can lock things back down and finish off the rest of these people's basically the economy for these people. All right, you go back to the housing crisis of 2008. That wiped out the middle and the low class at that point in time, man. All right, a lot of you Jakes was going out there buying your first homes and everything like that, and guess what? They wound up screwing up your credit. All right, throwing you in a tremendous amount of debt. You can't get yourself out of that debt. All right, with the COVID lockdowns, who did that attack? Not the very top of the pyramid, but those like a lot of these Edomites who own businesses and things like that. These so-called small business owners, these restaurants and things like that. All right, a lot of these corporations pretty much wound up going out of business because throughout these lockdowns, several months, just imagine 1 month of lockdown, because when you have a lot of these businesses and things like that, you think, a lot of these businesses bring in a whole lot of money or whatever, whatnot. This is the difference between a net and a gross. All right. But nevertheless, a lot of companies bring in a whole lot of money. But when you look at them paying out money, for their bills, their insurance, and so on and so forth, they're only making a small profit on these things. It's more or less like, how do I say, when you buy something, let's say you buy something for $10, right? Or let's say, give it a bigger number. You buy something for $1 million, right? And you wind up selling it for like $1,001,000, right? So now you get the $1 million back. You see somebody make a transaction. Oh, he just made $1 million. Well, I spent $1 million just to make $1,000. I only made $1,000. You see what I'm saying? So in these, how do I say, in these types of scenarios, a lot of these businesses wind up going under because why? Like, just take your restaurants. They were shut down, but guess what? They're still paying rent. All right. They're still paying for insurance, still paying water bills and electric bills and so on and so forth. Then they had their freezer stocked full of food because before the pandemic, they order regular food or whatever, whatnot. Food has a shelf life that they can only carry in the store before it expires. So guess what? They had to throw all that food out. And when things open back up, they had to reorder all that food again. All right. And then also they had to open up at a smaller capacity than normal. All right. But yet and still their bills going out was the same amount. Let's just say hypothetically your bills are $100. You normally make $200, so $100 go into the bills, and you wind up profiting $100. But now your bills are still $100, but now you're at half capacity. You're only making $50 now. So every month you're spending $50 just to stay in the business when you're not making no money. Eventually you're gonna run yourself broke, so people shut down. All right. It says under the new rules, residents are not allowed to have any guests to their homes, including family members that do not live with them. People are only allowed to leave their homes for essential reasons, the mayor says. Traditional Thanksgiving plans must be canceled. All right. And really, ultimately, this is the Most High shutting down Babylon, man. All right. Taking the spirit out of this thing, man. All right. Putting all eyes on him because, hey, if not, people would still just go on with their regular day like nothing was happening, Like the Most High ain't shaking this here place up. They would still go out to their bars and drink and party and so on and so forth, just trying to ignore these things, It says, any events such as weddings and funerals will be limited to attendance of 10 people or less. These new restrictions will be in place for a minimum of 30 days, according to the mayor. All right. And this is how they roll things out little by little. So they say 30 days from now, but then they're going to extend it for another 30 days. All right. Because beforehand it was for 14 days. Then it turned to months on end. Some places still aren't open. All right. Chicago has seen an uptick in COVID-19 cases. That was pretty much it in this here article. All right. Let me read this last little paragraph. It says, Lightfoot strict orders have earned pushback online, especially since the mayor can be seen in large groups over the weekend celebrating Joe Biden's presumed presidential victory. So, going back into why they had a lot of things open back up for this here situation. All right. So now let's go into the scriptures, and this is Ecclesiastes 12. Let me grab something else real quick because it's going to go into this. This is Micah chapter 2 and 10. It says, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this here precept out was because the next precept I'm about to bring, let's go back. It says, Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right, so twofold in that Micah, you got your minds tied into these things here. Again, America's a big gimmick. You can go online and watch all kind of videos about everything like that. And, people see a lot of things. Like you have all these people that was getting into these tiny homes once they seen this idea. Now their minds is distracted with that, putting all their force and everything into that, and wind up losing out with that. Growing your own food and everything like that, losing out on all these things. Whatever it is that they're trying to advertise or whatever, whatnot. But the sports, entertainment. Now, guess what? The scripture says, arise ye and depart, mentally, spiritually, mentally and spiritually, Don't be attached to all these things. You have some people that are so hooked on sports and entertainment and things like that. And once they cancel sports, people don't know what the hell to do with their lives, man. They don't know how to sit at home and just be them, be comfortable around themselves. All right. But nevertheless, this here place is polluted. You're still chasing a dream over here. You're going to wind up losing out here, man. All right. But Ecclesiastes 12:1, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasures in them. So this is the days that we're in right now, man. People don't really enjoy going out to the park no more, going to the theme parks no more, going to concerts no more, everything like that. It's in the back of your mind. Like, shit, man, I want to go out to eat to a restaurant or whatever, whatnot. But shit, I'm scared to be around all them people, man. Or I want to go out to the bar and to the club, but I'm scared to be around all them people, or to whatever event, man. Because all these things are starting to close down and everything like that, man. And also with these holidays coming up, some people are so used to having a tradition of getting together with their family or a certain relative's house to have Thanksgiving or Christmas, and now there's going to be a year without. They ain't gonna know what the hell to do, man. All right. It says, hey, it's a lot. Forget about it. Ecclesiastes 12:2. It says, while the sun, let me go back up to 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasures in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after their rain. All right. And the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves. All right. Because you have these people that pretty much know how to read the forecast of things, these investors and people like that. A lot of these Edomites, they know how to look at a lot of things and tell what's coming down the pipeline. Whereas Jake, they just wake up every day and they just go with the flow. They ain't like, oh, what the hell just happened? It's, seeing certain things, like, for instance, with the COVID lockdowns and them restricting airline travel and things like that. A lot of these Edomites already knew, like, shit, if I got stock in Delta or whatever airline, I'm about to lose in that, but Jake, they not paying attention to things like that, but these people that are looking ahead of these things, they're like, oh shit, we about to start losing out. All right. So it says, verse 3, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low. All right. That's going into what? All these lockdowns, man. All right. You have a lot of these people, like I said, a lot of these jobs are shut down, limited time, limited employee, people's hours are being cut back. So people are just kind of stressed out over these things, man. All right. But nevertheless, thinking about this whole year, things been shut down, locked down. A lot of people are financially tight right now with their income and everything like that. All right. And what do people normally do around a day after Thanksgiving? They go to that Black Friday sale and spend up all their money. They wind up going broke, from this time all the way through Christmas, buying all these Christmas gifts and everything else like that or whatever, whatnot. Then tax season come up and they just get a little bit of money back and wind up spending that as well too, man. All right. But even if they didn't have all these lockdowns, man, people around this time for Christmas or whatever wouldn't really be having money for their gifts and everything like that. Not promoting Christmas or saying you should be partaking in those things because, hey, this isn't we'll close out with that. This isn't something that we should be doing anyway. All right. This is part of what the heathens do. All right. Going back to verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right. So when you going into these things, man, all right, you got these verses, battles and everything like that. You see a lot of these celebrities and things like that are, not to say growing their hair out because of a certain situation or whatever, whatnot. A lot of these people are always tightly groomed or whatever, whatnot. Like, for instance, if you know who Boosie is, Lil Boosie, he got like what they call a Boosie fade. He didn't trademark his little fade or whatever, whatnot, or Steve Harvey, he ball. But nevertheless, certain people, they know, like Boosie, known for his little haircut. Not saying that his hair didn't grow out or whatever, whatnot. But a lot of these people, you can't really notice them because, they ain't been able to go to their little hairstylists and things like that, man. All right, so what? They even stressed out and bugged out looking online or whatever, whatnot. A lot of these female celebrities, the same with them as well, too, Let's go over to the book of Isaiah 24. Let me remember that precept I said I was going to bring. Lord willing, it'll come back to me. We'll close out with that, though. Isaiah 24 and 6, 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languish, and all the merry hearted do sigh. All right, because you had this, have a merry, holly, jolly Christmas or whatever, whatnot, Especially a lot of these damn Edomites, they really get into the Christmas spirit, man. They put up the damn stickers and the snowmen all in their yards and all kind of shit like that, man. All right, oh, that's what it is, Jeremiah 10. But yeah, they put up all these snowmen and Christmas trees and shit like that, man. These Edomites go ham over this damn Christmas, man. All right, but guess what, man? This is gonna be a real downer on their party, man. All right, it says the mirth of tabrets cease, the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp cease. They used to have these Christmas carolers walking around singing, whatever the fuck songs they be singing. But they got little Christmas carolers going around singing and shit. Thanksgiving Day celebrations and everything like that. The families all together on Thanksgiving. They go shopping after Thanksgiving. All right, but guess what? It's gonna be a sad, sorrowful holiday season, man, this year. Because why? Everything's gonna be locked down. People are all even if it wasn't locked down, families will be afraid of being around other people or whatever, whatnot, Listening to the radio, and they was talking about the same subject. They was like, nah, my mom can't come by because she's an old lady. We don't want to get her sick or whatever, whatnot. She has to get on the plane, come to the airport. So even, and these are in places where they're not even quite talking about the lockdowns yet, But nevertheless, this is putting it's basically raining on their holiday seasons, Which, again, these are all their wicked high holy days anyway, man. All right. Verse 8, the mirth of tabrets cease. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of harp ceases. Again, going into what, you have all these Christmas carolers and the Christmas jingles, on, I don't know if they still do this or not, but at a certain point in time in the year, they'll wind up start playing the Christmas songs or whatever, whatnot on the radio. They got all the Christmas, they got the, what you call it, little Christmas shit on TV with the Charlie Brown Christmas, the Christmas Story, all these Christmas movies and everything like that. Hey, this year ain't gonna be the same, man. And for a lot of these children and everything like that, it's going to be a first-time event for them. I know with my niece and my nephew. My niece is old enough to know about certain things going on or whatever, whatnot, But she remembers what life was like before the mask and after the mask. You know what I'm saying? She'll remember what things were like beforehand and then afterwards. Whereas her little brother, he's too young to remember all these different things. So, hey, if time was to go on and go forth, this would be a norm for him, man. All right? It says, they shall not drink wine with the song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink. They got the little eggnog and they be having their little Christmas. Again, the family over, they having their Christmas festivities and everything like that, man. All right, so just think about what Thanksgiving is going to be like, being lonely around a table. You have like your parents. You may not live with your parents because you're older and everything. They live in a different state. Now they sitting there having Thanksgiving by themselves. You having Thanksgiving by yourself or whatever, whatnot, For the people that are in the spirit, not talking about us in the truth, but for these people that are in the world and everything like that, man, they're going to be completely crushed with these things, man. All right. I used to see, just as a side note, my birthday is the day before Christmas. So growing up, I've always hated my birthday and always hated Christmas. Never celebrated either one of the two because that shit was just traumatic to me growing up, being in the world and wanting to have your birthday and going to everybody else's birthday party. Can't nobody come to your birthday party because they with their family, Your birthday is overshadowed by Christmas and things like that. So I just grew up by the time I was 10. Before that, you know what I'm saying? Because by the time I was 10, my parents would just give us money. We go to Walmart, go get whatever the fuck we wanted. We ain't wrap shit up. That was it. But even before then, I just hated those holidays and things like that, man. All right, it was just like, this is bullshit. I always hated Thanksgiving. Like, why we got to wait till one day in the year to tell each other why we thankful for these things? We should be telling each other this from the beginning. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Like, man, why y'all got to tell me when to tell my mom and my father when I love them? Or do something nice for them. I could do that year round. I think this is just some money that y'all trying to grab up out of us, man. All right, but when you see these other people, and like, they be so damn crushed over Christmas. Like, bro, it's just another fucking day. Y'all want some gifts or whatever, whatnot. Why they got to tell you about this, man? But like I said, man, if you grew up like how I grew up, just despising all this and seeing everybody else around and make a big deal about it, like, damn, now when it's canceled for everybody, they're going to be crushed, man. All right. It says, verse 10, the city of confusion, which that's what Babylon means. All right. The city of confusion. Babel means confused. Lon going into the city of confusion, which is Babylon the Great, is broken down. All right. And that's where we at right now. We all these shutdowns, all these layoffs, high levels of unemployment. All right. The holiday seasons are gone out the window. A lot of these businesses are shut down. All right, your normal everyday going to the bar, the clubs, packed clubs, bars, all that shit is gone, man. All right, you know, in certain areas they doing some little things or whatever here or there, but for the most part, everything is gone, man. Like, as a matter of fact, the banks and stuff, you know, like where I'm at, you can't even go into the banks no more, man. All right, they got signs out in the front like, yo, if anything, go through the windows, man. All right. It says the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. And that's what these people are starting to say now. You know, hey, look, anybody in your family, anybody that's in your family that's not in your immediate family that lives under your roof, you can't have them come to your house. Even funerals, man. You know, we limit funerals to 10 people, weddings to 10 people, and everything like that, man. All right, so hey, man, you know, a lot of these things, the so-called quote unquote norm for you Americans, it's done. It's over with, man. This is it, man. All right, hey, it will behoove you people here. You know, speaking of all you so-called Americans here, you know, Jake and Esau that's over here. Hey, man, just give it up, man. Look unto the Most High and see what's going on. For you Edomites, hey, man, well, for y'all, live it up like the scriptures say, man. Hey, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of the Chaldees, man. This is it for you, man. This is your last little ride. Have as much fun as you can before it's all over with, man. All right, but for Jake, man, you know what I'm saying? 2/3 ain't going to get it anyways. They might as well do the same shit, too. But for us in the truth, man, hey, this is not our rest, man. This place is going to pollute us. You know what I'm saying? So we need to what? Arise and depart up out of here mentally and spiritually, man. All right, if you hadn't done so already, man. All right. Verse 11, there's crying for wine in the streets. All the joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Now, I remember when these lockdowns first came out, you know, it was funny that somebody had said to me, it's crazy they're locking down everything. You can't go to church no more, but the liquor stores is open. And I was like, you know what? It's actually better that the liquor stores stay open than anything, because the majority of these Americans are on either drugs or alcohol and things like that, man. Obviously, you go to your little local drug dealer to get your drugs. That's not a white market type business. But with the alcohol, like, yo, these people are already crazy out here. And if they don't get the alcohol, you're going to have that much more crazy people out here, man. All right, they need to have something to soothe their ass. They sit at home watching their finances go down the drain, man. Let these people get something to drink. But guess what? Right now, these people are still, the alcohol and gun sales have went out the window, man. All right, they can't keep guns on the shelf. They can't keep alcohol in the store, man. All right, they restock the damn store with more alcohol than they do with the food, man. All right, because people are buying more and more and more alcohol day in and day out. To why? To drown themselves in sorrow, man. Oh, man, I might not ever see my family again, or, you know, my mom just died or whatever, and I couldn't go to her funeral. They had to cremate her. They said blah, 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 so on and so forth, man. Or I got a relative in the hospital right now. We can't even go and see him right now, man. He might wind up dying, you know, but hey, it is what it is, man. All right. It says, let me read 11 again. It says, there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. The city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. All right. So, hey, man, this place is finished, man. Finito. It's through. All right. So I'm going to close out on this here Jeremiah 10, since we spoke about that Christmas. Whoa. This is Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, neither, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So what are some of the ways of the heathen? Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. All right, this is bullshit, man. All right, it's like, for what? It's not going to change anything. You know, hey, you over here bragging about how much Monopoly money you got, but you can't go deposit that in the bank. You know what I'm saying? You can get on Instagram and talk about how many $500 bills you got and whatever, whatnot, how many park places and shit that you own. But you can't go to the bank and cash that check, homie. You can't deposit that into the ATM and then withdraw out real money. So the same way with their high holy days or whatever, whatnot, man. It's just really distractions. And Thanksgiving coming up is commemorating and celebrating, goddamn, the genocide of our people, man. All right? For the customs of the people are vain. One cutteth a tree out of the forest, and the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. So you got to think back before we had these fake-ass Christmas trees, what people were doing. All right? So it says, one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. All right? They get the tree. They deck it with silver and gold. All right? But nowadays they use Christmas lights to get that shine off of there. They deck it with silver and gold and fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. That's that Christmas tree stand. You know, if you get a live tree or whatever, whatnot, you go and you put it in a little stand with a little water at the bottom. They are upright as a palm tree, your Christmas trees, but speak not. They must need be born because they cannot go. All right. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither is it in them to do good. All right. So, hey, going into these damn holidays, high holy days and things like that for these Edomites, man, this ain't for our people, man. All right, so you really shouldn't be sorrowful that these things is over with. You should be rejoicing, man. Oh shit, man, they finally closed down Christmas and Thanksgiving here in America, man. These are signs that this place is finished, man. That means we about to come up out of this bitch, man. We about to be delivered up out of here, man. We about to go into our own kingdom and celebrate our own high holy days, man. No more of this heathen Edomite shit that we got going on, man. All right, so hey, this is the times that we in, man. We should be rejoicing at the downfall of our enemies right before our eyes, man. We live in it right now, man. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.